I scoffed. Suicide? Bollocks! Smith frowned. Why ever not? The details don't line up. They didn't fall from the clock tower at the same time, but minutes apart. If they'd planned to die together, wouldn't they have leapt from the clock tower together? And look here. The husband of one of the victims wrote to the editor. I folded the newspaper to the letter and handed it over. It read, "Sir, what you proposed in yesterday's editorial is impossible. Neither my wife Bacha nor my sister Pilu had any reason to commit suicide. They had simply everything to live for. Were you to meet Bacha, you could not mistake her vibrant joie de vivre. She left each person she met with more than they had before. No, sir. This was not a woman prone to melancholia, as you suggest, but an intensely dutiful and fun-loving beauty, kind in her attention to all she met, generous in her care of elders, and admired by many friends. Sir, I beg you do not besmirch the memory of my dear wife and sister with foolish rumors. Their loss has taken the life from our family, the joy from our lives. Leave us in peace. They are gone, but I remain. Sincerely, Adi Framji, February 10th, 1892. As Smith finished reading, I swung my legs over the side of the bed and got up. Or tried to, for the room did a dizzy whirl. I lurched, cursed, grabbed for the bed and missed. Smith hollered, "Orderly!" and scrambled over. They got me a bed, but it was a struggle. I am not a small man. "Take it slow, pal," Smith said, his expression odd, as though I'd sprouted horns while he wasn't looking. All right, I muttered to the orderly, a stocky Sikh in a grey turban and hospital uniform, who tended to fuss overmuch. "Sahib has not been well for many months," the man assured me. Bollocks. Had it been months? Only a few weeks, surely. I recalled feeling numb from cold, a fog of confusion, unfamiliar faces that came and went. "Damn it, Jim," said Smith, wincing. "We've got to talk about the frontier, the Afghans, Karachi." "Do we?" I asked. A drum began to pound in my head. I lay back and pressed the base of my palm to the aching pulse above my ear. In the days that followed, my doctor came by, adding a host of cautions as medicos will. He seemed both pleased and doubtful at my progress. No longer a young man, I lay in bed, considering my future, and found it bleak. I had no family, just old Father Thomas at the mission orphanage, who'd raised me. My friends from the company were buried in the red dust of Karachi. Of the old company, only Smith, Colonel Sutton, and I were left. There was little profit in dwelling on it. Instead, I returned again and again to the puzzle of the women's deaths. Could I piece together the dire events of that sunlit October day? The story was starting to fade from the front pages, giving way to news of railway expansion across the Indian subcontinent. Yet, that heartfelt letter haunted me. "They are gone, but I remain," the young husband had written. His words cut into me, the sharp burn of his grief. I knew something of his pain. For my brothers in arms were gone, yet I remained. A week later, I took medical discharge. Most of my army wages had gone toward my care, and I had 40 rupees to my name. I needed a job. Well, perhaps I could write for the papers. Thinking of that snippet, the letter to the editor tucked in my billfold, I decided to call on the